If you are looking at moving to London or United Kingdom in particular, then this video is for you. I will also be talking about the pros and cons of living in London, some alternative cities that would give you value for money. And by the end of this video, you're going to learn why I live in the city that I live in, and it may be for you or not. So stay with me. By the time you're here, you have actually decided you want to move to the United Kingdom or you want to move to London in particular. But the question is, what are some of the advantages of moving to London? So let's go through them. One of the pros of living in London is that it's an absolute vibrant city. There's always something going on. If you are the type that has a good social battery, then London will be for you because there's always something going on somewhere for you to be able to socialize and get to know people. The second pro of living in London is that it is very multicultural, and therefore you have the ability to be able to mix with different people, different cultures, and you also easily probably find people from your own country. And that is one thing that makes it a bit easier when you live in London. Due to how dynamic London is, it offers like better and bigger opportunities in terms of career. There is more opportunities there compared to the rest of the United Kingdom. There are more opportunities in London. There are different types of career paths you can easily take. The pay range is also much better because the cost of living in London is something that is not cheap. And therefore, we have the inner London pay rates. One thing that you don't want to take for granted when you move to a new country or a new city is the ability to find your own food, your own people, and to be able to settle in. And that is what London offers you. It gives you the chance to be able to most likely find the kind of food you used to enjoy in your country, the people that you used to hang out with. There are always people that are from your country in some part of London. And that is a great advantage that people don't actually give enough props to. But yeah. So those are some of the advantages. We are going to go into it and look at some of the cons of it as well, of moving to London. And then we move on to what alternative cities can offer you something similar and maybe a cheaper rate. One of the cons of living in London is that it's absolutely fast paced. It is a fast, dynamic city, and therefore it might not be for everyone. You might not be that city person. You might probably have come from a small town, and therefore moving to London might be a bit too fast for you. So that is one of the cons that people probably don't talk about, but here you go. Let's talk about the housing quality. It is an absolute nightmare to find good houses in London or rooms to rent that has proper heating installations and stuff like that. And it is not even cheap. That's the problem that comes with it. Some of them are not properly maintained as well. And that is one thing. And as people say, London always have box houses, so their rooms are much smaller compared to other parts of the country. Unfortunately, this is the con that comes with London. If you want to live in that city, you might have to suck it up and just keep that small room and all that stuff. And as time goes on, you can upgrade. A lot of people that have moved to the United Kingdom and talked about the way people socialize in London is not great. The one thing about Londoners is that most of them, especially when you get on the tubes, you find out that nobody talks to anyone. People don't talk to strangers. So if you're like me and you come from Africa and you talk to everybody and anyone, don't think London is going to be like that for you. It's not. In London, people don't really mingle with strangers like that. So it might be lonely if you don't have a very good social cues and you're not able to break those barriers and network properly, then you might be lonely because that is the city and that's the life that comes with the city life. It is absolutely expensive to live in London. It is not cheap compared to the other parts of the country. So if you are thinking of moving to London, then you better get your money up because it's not cheap to live there. Or you have to live within your means. Whatever job you're doing, you need to calculate and budget properly or else you're going to be in debt. So that's some of the pros and the cons of living in London. But let's look at some alternative cities that would offer you value for money and probably something similar to what London would offer you. So if you are looking for a city, you're looking for something that would offer you good social values in terms of good community life where there's enough people and you can make friends and settle in, and also in terms of the finances and also job opportunities. I guess you don't want to also be stuck in some small village somewhere that has got nobody else but maybe Margaret and Phil, just those two white men and white women that are stuck there by themselves, and you're going to be hanging out with them. You don't want to be that guy. So let's not do that. So the other option is you need to look at what's something a bit bigger, something that would offer you a bit more. So let's look at alternative cities that would offer you something similar in that sense. The first one that I would talk about would be the cities that are down south from London. The reason why I'm talking south of London, down south, closer to the sea, is because those are not so far away from London. That is one. And the other part that comes with it is those cities usually have a lot of job for foreigners because people presume that there's not a lot going on there, especially places like Southampton, Bournemouth, Portsmouth. Those are cities that you don't get a lot of foreigners living there. So the job opportunities for foreigners is quite a lot. So I would say those are the cities in the south that I would recommend for you. You can try that. The housing cost also is really much better than London comparatively. And then you come to the cities in the north. There are cities in the north that would offer you value for money and great opportunities in terms of career, and it's beautiful and vibrant at the same time. One particular city that I talk about a lot and recommend to people is Manchester. Manchester is vibrant. It's a bit like London, a bit big as well. If you are an international student or foreign student, and that is the video that I'm going to shoot about, like cities that are I would recommend for international students. I'll talk about that probably in my next video. Manchester is something I recommend, a city that I recommend for you. Leeds is also really good, and you have somewhere like Birmingham. Birmingham is also really vibrant. It's different. And it's got a lot of multicultural stuff. You're easy to find your food and your people. So those are the cities that I recommend in the north for you. In the wider United Kingdom, there are other cities that I've not mentioned that I can also recommend. Edinburgh is one of them. It's beautiful. It's vibrant. It's nice. And it's nothing like the rest of the United Kingdom cities that you go to. Edinburgh is good. Glasgow is not a bad idea as well. It's not a good shout. It's not a bad shout. Also, if you're an accountant, then maybe check out Jersey and Guernsey because those are the places that a lot of their taxes and stuff like that, tax having people save their money. So that might be the city for you. Anyway, if I was moving here fresh, the question is where would I want to live? I think I would probably like move to somewhere like Manchester or Edinburgh. Manchester, especially in the outskirts, if you can when you work your way up and you progress career wise, Manchester is better because you can easily buy a house there. It's vibrant, it's beautiful, and it's got a lot to go for it. Edinburgh is also beautiful. The only reason why I'm putting Edinburgh second is purely because it snows a lot in Scotland. So if you are not good or you don't do well in the cold, then Scotland might not be for you. But a lot of people adapt to it. So I would recommend Edinburgh and Manchester. One might ask, where do you actually live? I live in a town called Bournemouth in the south coast of England. It's about an hour and a half from London, so it's very close in terms of, and I like it here because if I, in terms of career wise, if I get a job in London, I can easily commute and come back. I work in HR and therefore I can work from home, and if they need me in the office, I can still commute. It's also got a very beautiful beach, and I live about 10 minutes walk from the beach. Actually, it's not too far, and it's different. I'm not one to live in a very populated place. I don't like that. I would recommend, even if you haven't been here or you don't want to live here, I would recommend you come and visit and check it out. Maybe one of these days I'm actually going to shoot a video about the town and show it properly. So I hope this video is like you're learning something from it and you're taking notes. The question here is, would I recommend you moving to London? I would say no. I wouldn't recommend you moving to London, especially if it is your first move to the United Kingdom. I would recommend other cities first, settle in first. But hear me out. I would also recommend that no matter where you live, make an effort to visit London frequently. Get to know how it works. Get to know the lifestyle there and the way things move about there, the way things work over there, because majority of the time that is where the job opportunities are, the big job opportunities. And if you move here and you want to progress career wise, there might be a chance that you might end up in London. So don't rule it out at all. Get familiar with it, get to know how the train systems work, get to know how things work in London, because you might want to move there one day. If you're thinking of moving to London, then let me know in the comments if you found this video useful. If you live in London, let me know in the comments as well what you think about what I said about your city. If you live in any of the other cities that I talked about and mentioned in gave the honorable mentions to, then let me know. If I missed a city that could be recommended as well, I'm more than happy and open for suggestions. Let me know what else you want me to talk about in the next video, and I'll try and do it. As I mentioned, I'm going to talk about cities that I would recommend for international students in my next video. So I hope you subscribe and you share and like and comment and you stay with me. We're going to grow together. I'll talk to you soon.